Hi, welcome to today's practice and welcome to Belong Yoga. I'm Carrie, and today we're going to be doing a nice little practice that's really going to be focusing on coming into the present moment. A lot of times we're busy rushing around doing all the other stuff, and so when we finally get to our mat, it's like everything else is going on. So I want us to focus on what's going on right here. So as my teacher likes to say, we're going to be in the here, now, here moment, not worrying about all the other things out there until we get off the mat, right? But so again, for the next 15 or so minutes, we're going to be focusing on us and what we're doing here on the mat. So to start with, before I forget, grab a couple blocks if you have them. Not necessarily required, but could be helpful for a couple of the postures we're going to be doing, okay? So grab whatever you might need for props and come meet me on the mat and come find a nice, comfortable sitting position, okay? And I'm just going to keep your hands comfortable in your lap or on your knees, on your thighs. And let's close down our eyes. And let's just start to focus on our breath, okay? We're going to be breathing in through the nose. Exhaling through the nose. Inhale through the nose. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Final time. Inhale through the nose. And exhale through the nose. And open your eyes. And we're going to inhale, arms up overhead. And let's just do a little bit of movement. We're going to twist over to the right. Inhale up overhead and twist over to the left. Do this a couple more times. Inhale and over to the right. And up and over to the left. And inhale over to the right. And this time, let's just hold it for a moment, using that backhand as a kickstand, pushing you up. Maybe inhaling, getting a little more length in the spine, twisting just a little bit. Hold for a breath. Inhale back up through center, and let's do that over on the left-hand side. There we go. Inhaling, getting that length in the spine, and then exhaling, twisting, maybe twisting from the upper back region, not just from the hips, right? The low back. One more breath. And back through center. Arms up overhead. We're going to exhale our right hand down towards the mat and our, left arm up overhead. And then we're going to windmill it over to the other side. Exhaling, inhaling it up overhead. Inhale. Actually, I think I've got it backwards. We're going to inhale on the up, exhale on the down. That's what it is. Inhaling over to the right and over to the left and over to the right and to the left. And this time we're going to hold it, placing that palm, maybe even the elbow down on the mat, exhaling your arm up overhead. Maybe you can open that shoulder up just a little bit, looking up above to the sky if that's comfortable with your neck. And we're going to windmill it over to the left, placing that hand, maybe even that elbow down on the mat. Arm up overhead, opening that shoulder just a little bit. And come back up through center. Come into a tabletop position. Knees and hips, see if you're in alignment. Shoulder, wrist in alignment. Planting those hands nice and firm on the mat. And let's just do a couple of cat-cows. Dropping the belly, trying to bring that chest forward. Exhaling, rounding the back. Inhaling, dropping that belly, lifting your gaze. Exhale, rounding the back. Let's do it a couple more times. And do it on your own breath. Getting some movement into the body. One more time. Come into a neutral tabletop. Extend that right leg back behind you. Place your toes on the mat. And I want you to lean into your hands and push back. We're just going to stretch out the right leg here, okay? Just stretching it out. Remember to breathe. Come back into that tabletop and extend the left leg long behind you. Push into the hands and stretch back, stretch into that back of the left leg here. Hold it for 2 more breaths. And come back into a neutral tabletop, planting the hands nice and firm. Tuck the toes on both feet and come back into a downward dog. Ooh. We're just going to stay here for a couple of breaths, getting our bearings with us. Try to extend long through the arms, get the shoulders out of the ears. You can bend the knees if you want to, lifting that tailbone up to the sky, and then straighten the legs out a little bit. Maybe even walking the dog, heel toeing those feet, just to get a little movement. There we go, and come into stillness. Let's bring our right leg forward between our hands. Drop that back knee. And we're going to come into a high lunge position. This is where we might need our blocks. Okay, I like to do this one with my blocks. We're going to be going between this high lunge position here. And then we're going to be exhaling, straightening our front leg, bringing those toes back. And then we're going to move forward into that low lunge position. And then straighten that front leg and stretch out the back side of that leg again, bringing those toes towards the knees. And let's continue to move like this, coming forward and back. And I just like to use my blocks because it just keeps my body up a little bit higher. I like that. And back, stretching out that front leg, and forward and back and forward. And this time, let's hold it when we come back. So really flexing those toes towards the knees, using the blocks or your hands on the mat, lifting up through the chest, sitting back just a little bit, really stretching out that back side of the right leg here. Hold for another breath. And come forward into that low lunge again, okay? And this time, let's inhale our arms up overhead. You can set the blocks up to the front of the mat if you'd like. We'll use them here in just a moment. And do a quick check here in this low lunge position, okay? Check and see if your hips are facing forward, a little tuck in that tailbone. You should have a little bit of space right here in the hip crease. This is a nice stretch for the hip flexors. And exhale your hands down to the mat. Walk your right foot out towards the edge of the mat just a little bit. We're going to come into a variation of lizard, okay? We're not going to go super deep into it so go ahead and place your right hand on your thigh, your right thigh here. I want you to just push it out just a little bit, not a lot, doesn't need to be a lot. We're just going to get a little deeper into this stretch without going super deep into it, okay? Try to keep it a little bit less intense for us, and we're just going to hold here. Now, if you feel like it, take your back leg and bend it up and reach that right hand back and see if you can grab those toes. Grab the foot into this variation. And we're going to twist it open just a little bit. If this is not right for your practice today, no problem. Just stay with that first posture of lizard. Hold for another breath. No, release the back foot, but please be very mindful of allowing it to drop, not fling it back. And drop that hand, and let's go ahead and meet in downward facing dog today. And let's go ahead and do another walk the dog just for a minute. There we go. Come into that stillness, and let's go ahead and bring the left foot forward between the hands, dropping that back knee, and coming up into low lunge position for just a minute. Actually, I think we need the blocks on this. So instead of coming up into that low lunge all the way up position, let's grab those blocks instead and place your hands on the blocks. And we're going to come forward into that low lunge position and then extend and straighten that front leg, flexing those toes back as we sit back towards the heels, right? Stretching out that front leg, and then coming forward and rotate, sliding it back and coming forward and back and forward and come back. Let's do that one more time. Forward and back, and this time let's hold it in this stretch. Really see if you can flex those toes back towards the knee, trying to get that stretch along the back side of that leg. One more breath here. And let's walk the feet forward, or the hands forward. You can drop the blocks. Now let's come up into that low lunge, inhaling our arms up overhead. Do a quick check where your hip's at, tucking that tailbone, a little bit of space into that hip crease. Stay here for another breath. Let's do one more. And now exhale, drop the hands and walk that foot out towards the edge of the mat, coming into this lizard pose here. And we'll stay here for just a few breaths. And if you feel that it's in your practice today, let's bend that back leg up, rotate over towards the left, and let's go ahead and see if your right hand can grasp that left foot. This is such a really deep stretch here. If this isn't in your practice, it's okay. No judgments. You're here, you're present. That's it. One more breath. Gently, without flinging it, put that back leg down and swing the front leg back into downward facing dog, just for one full round of breath. And drop the knees nice and wide. Touch the toes together. And let's come into a child's pose just for a moment. Couple of breaths here. And walk your hands over to the right, dropping the forehead towards the mat. Couple of breaths. And through center and over to the left, walking those hands over, dropping the forehead towards the mat for a side body stretch with our child's pose. And let's come back into a tabletop position. Planting your left hand, and let's inhale our right arm up nice and high to the sky. And exhale, let's thread it through, thread the needle, dropping the shoulder, the back of the arm, the back of the hand onto the mat. Using your left hand, you can have it by your face, or you can even walk it out depending on what you want to do today. And we're just going to enjoy this stretch for a couple of breaths, getting into the shoulders. One more breath here. Plant that the left hand up by the face and inhale it, the right arm up to the sky. And drop that down to meet the other hand here. And this time planting the right hand, inhaling our left arm up to the sky. And exhaling, bringing that left shoulder down to the mat. The back side of the arm, the back side of the hand. And placing your right hand where it's comfortable, out in front of you, maybe by the face, whatever's comfortable, what feels good today in this stretch. And just paying attention and being in the present moment, noticing what your body needs right now. Sometimes we get stuck on, well, I did this yesterday, why can't I do it today? Or, wow, I can go deeper than I did yesterday. Every day our body's different. Every day something's going on. So that's why it's so important to just be here, be in the here now moment, being in the present moment, not worrying about the past, not worrying about the future. And plant that right hand by the face. Inhale that left arm up to the sky. And bring that back down into the tabletop position. Go ahead and meet me in a seated position, just like when we started this practice. And let's end with that same couple of breaths. Just inhaling and exhaling, just getting all of this zip together with us, right? So just close down your eyes if that's comfortable. And we're going to inhale and exhale out the nose. So we're going to inhale through the nose. Exhale through the nose. Inhale through the nose. Exhale. One more inhale through the nose. Really big, deep one. Get a little bit deeper than you did the last time. Inhale, maybe a little more. Hold it at the top. Open the mouth and sigh it out. And open your eyes. Well, thank you for joining me today on that fun little present, hopefully being in the present on the mat practice with me today. Sorry, jumbled over my words here. But thank you for joining me today on the mat. If you like this, if you're enjoying my videos, please subscribe and share. If you're liking what you're seeing here, I'd love to reach more people. So I'd love for you to share what you're getting out of this. So Until next time.